Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about a question that many of us who speak English as a second language often ask. Is my English good enough to work in an English-speaking environment? I've listened to a lot of people who work in English-speaking environments. After their talks, I often hear this question from people who want to work in such environments. Is my English good enough to work in an English-speaking environment? A common answer is usually something like, if you are okay communicating in English, then it's okay for working. At that time, my English was quite basic, similar to what we learn in junior high school in Taiwan. I could use simple sentences and vocabulary to communicate with tourists. But I always wondered, what level of English is really needed for professional work? After relocating to North America, I put in a lot of effort to improve my English. I watched YouTube videos, had mentoring sessions, and talk to experienced professionals. Even then, I kept asking myself, is my English good enough to work there? What does good enough really mean? What does good enough really mean? The answer isn't straightforward. It depends on factors like the company's communication style, the position you are applying for, the industry you are in. For instance, as a senior designer, strong communication skills are crucial. A junior designer may need fewer communication skills at first. So that's why I wrote the 3 key to accept of professional English communication. The first thing is you need to have ability to describe the concept and thinking process. One thing I've learned is that in an English-speaking company, you need to explain your idea and the thought process clearly. It's not just about following instructions. You have to explain why you made a certain decision, how you arrive at a solution, and what you think works best. If you don't know something, you still need to communicate that. People need to understand what you are thinking. This is a very important skill in those work environments. I've heard many people say, "Oh, I'm an introvert, I'm shy. I don't like to share my ideas." But in an English-speaking company, expressing your thought is crucial. I've met many introverted people who are very good at explaining concepts. It doesn't matter if you are shy. What matters is finding the courage to communicate your thoughts clearly. The second factor, I think, is the ability to discuss abstract notions. So in my role, I have to make decisions constantly. This means I need to communicate the complex concept clearly. Every time we try to solve a problem, the first step is identifying the problem itself. It's like a chain. You need to connect the problem to the real world and then explain your reasoning. Once you understand the problem, you can talk about action and solutions. If you can't explain the problem, you won't be able to solve it. The third is adaptability in communication styles. So in my job, I have to speak with people from different departments. They are from marketing, or from finance, or from technical teams, or designers, or CEOs, all kinds of stakeholders. Each with their own way of communicating. It's important to be able to switch gears and use language that fits the person you are talking to. For example, when I talk to someone from technical team, we use a specific vocabulary. But when I talk to the marketing or finance, I need to adjust my language so they can understand the concept. This ability to adopt your communication styles is very important when working in an English-speaking company. And now I want to talk more about this topic because I heard someone misunderstanding, especially among Asian people, when they use the English. I've met many people who feel like they can't use English to communicate effectively. Some believe they need to speak like native speakers to have good English. They think that unless their English is close to native level, they shouldn't show their English because people will think they are showing off, or they will be judged for making mistakes. I don't quite understand this concept. I didn't learn English when I was young. I started learning when I was almost 30 years old. I know I can't speak like a native speaker because I don't grow up in that environment. But that doesn't mean I can't keep improving my communicating skills. I don't need to reach that standard to be effective. Another common misunderstanding is about accent. Many people think that if you have an accent, it means your English isn't good enough. But that's not true. I have an accent because I grew up in a Mandarin-speaking environment. When I was young, I didn't meet anyone who spoke English. So after I grew up, my muscles, my tone, everything become comfortable with Mandarin. It's hard to change that in a short time. Of course, accent matters, but it's not everything. You are not trying to fit into a high-class social phase. You are just trying to find job opportunities and explore your career path. The focus should be on being understood, not eliminate your accent. I don't know anyone who made fun or judge someone just because of their accent. So why should I be ashamed of mine? Your accent represents where you're from, and the environment you grew up in. And I think that's something to be proud of. Instead of focusing on accents, I spend my time improving my pronunciation. Clear pronunciation is key to good communication, and that's why it's what matters most. I structure my thoughts, listen to how people speak, and continue practicing. If you have an accent, don't be afraid of it. Just make sure people can understand you. The other thing I hear is that people feel they need a perfect grammar because they can start speaking English before they can start speak English. This is especially common in Asia, where English education focuses on grammar and getting the right answer on exams. When people try to use English, they still think they need to speak with perfect grammar, but English is not our first language. From the start, I could feel my brain overloading, trying to translate from Mandarin to English. Focusing on grammar while speaking makes it even harder. Here's an example. If I forgot the word banana, I don't start the conversation. I describe it. I will say it's a yellow with the black spots, a shape like a moon, and a monkey love it. People understand what I mean. That's the key. Even if I don't have perfect English, I can still communicate effectively, but by describing what I don't know. The important thing is not to be afraid of speaking even if you make mistake or can't remember the word or vocabulary. You can always describe the things to help you get your point across. English is my second language, and there are thousands of words I don't know yet. But that's okay, I can still communicate and keep improving. So I want to wrap up. Working in an English-speaking environment is more about your ability to communicate clearly than being perfect. It's about explaining your thoughts, sharing your decisions, and adapting your communicate depends on who you are talking to. Don't let the fear of mistake or accent stop you from speaking. Even if you don't know every word, you can describe the things, find another way to explain, and keep improving over time. Thank you for listening. If you have any experience or question, feel free to share them with me. Thank you.